Have you ever stopped to think if your professional reputation, everything you've built, could be checked or even disproven by an algorithm? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. We are smack in the middle of an era where AI is completely rewriting the rules of trust. It's no longer about what you say you are, but what the data proves you are. Okay, so let's dive right into the heart of this massive shift. What we're really talking about is a fundamental change in how we decide who and what to believe. We're moving away from just trusting claims to demanding cold, hard proof. And this is the question, isn't it? This is the core conflict of our new reality. You know, for decades, we've carefully crafted our image with our resumes, our job titles, and the stories we tell. But now, AI can peek behind that curtain. It's constantly analyzing our digital footprint, and it can spot any gap between the image we project and the reality it can verify. This slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old world. We used to trust someone because of a fancy degree, a powerful job title, or a good word from a friend. That's trust based on authority. But now, we're moving to the right side. This is evidence-based trust. It's built on data that can be checked, on digital proofs, and on algorithms that are constantly looking for consistency. And all of this leads us to this huge new concept, radical transparency. You got to think of it as a new kind of environment we're all living in, where AI acts like a giant truth amplifier. It automatically rewards you for being authentic, when your actions actually match your words. And at the same time, it just as easily exposes anyone who exaggerates or can't back up their claims. There's nowhere to hide.
So how in the world does this actually work? Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the mechanics of how AI is becoming this incredibly powerful credibility engine.
It's really an amazing three-step process. First, the AI just scans and gobbles up enormous amounts of data from all over the place. Public records, social media, work histories, you name it. Then, and this is the magic, it uses sophisticated pattern recognition to connect all the dots, finding relationships a human might never see. And finally, the third step, it flags the contradictions. It spots the moment a claim on a LinkedIn profile doesn't quite match up with a public project record, or when a company's big talk about ethics doesn't align with its supply chain data.
And listen, this isn't just theory. This is happening right now, in the real world. Just look at this table. Macy's AI-powered audits helped uncover a mind-blowing $154 million in accounting fraud. In hiring, you've got companies like Vidoc Security using AI to spot deepfake candidates in video interviews. Even in academia, AI is flagging plagiarism on a massive scale, forcing hundreds of papers to be retracted. The engine is on, and it's catching things we've been missing for years.
What all those examples really hammer home is the point in this quote right here. We are fundamentally shifting from a world of telling people who we are to a world of showing them with proof. This technology literally transforms your reputation from a story you tell into a set of evidence that can be verified. Your life story is becoming a data set.
But, and this is a huge but, this isn't just some magic truth machine. This technology is a classic double-edged sword. It has some incredible upsides, but it also comes with some really significant dangers.
And this slide just illustrates those two sides perfectly. On one hand, you get what's called ethical amplification. Honest, good work now leaves a digital trail that can be verified, making it more visible and valuable than ever. But on the flip side, the exact same thing happens with dishonesty. Deceptive practices like AI washing, where companies pretend to be more tech-savvy than they are, suddenly become way more costly when an algorithm can call their bluff.
And that brings us to the elephant in the room. We're building this AI system to be a judge of our credibility. But what happens if that judge is flawed? This is where things get really risky.
There are three huge pitfalls we absolutely have to watch out for. First, hidden bias. If you train an AI on biased historical data, it's going to learn those same biases, maybe unfairly flagging people from non-traditional backgrounds. Second, there's context blindness. An algorithm can spot a rule being broken, but it can't understand the human context, the why behind it. And finally, there's this weird thing called model collapse. Think about making a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. The image gets worse each time, right? Well, that's what can happen when AIs are trained on stuff generated by other AIs. It can actually start to corrupt our digital history with bad data.
So after all that, what does this actually mean for you, for me, for all of us? And more importantly, how do we get ready for this new reality?
This table right here really sums up the whole shebang. We are leaving the world on the left, where your title or your degree was your proof, and we are entering the world on the right, where the consistency of your entire digital life is what matters, and it's an algorithm that's doing the fact-checking.
So how do you adapt? Here's your 4-step guide. First, you have to audit your own record. It's called a semantic audit. Basically, you need to go through all your public profiles and make sure your story is consistent and verifiable everywhere. Second, focus on documented outcomes. It's not enough to say you have a skill anymore. You need to show the proof. Links to projects, data, things you've published. Third, demonstrate good governance. This is about proving, proactively, that you and your company operate with clear ethical rules. And finally, step 4, prove your expertise. Start using new tools like content credentials. Seriously, think of it like a digital watermark for your work. It's a secure, provable way to say, I made this, which is going to be priceless in a world where AI can create almost anything.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this single idea. In this new world of radical AI-driven transparency, the stories we tell about ourselves matter so much less than the evidence we leave behind. The question is no longer who are you, but what can you prove? And what is that proof going to say about you?